Welcome
to Bookshop Bombshells.
This is a podcast where
we both read a book
and we tell you about the book
and we try not to spoil it
because we want you to read the book also.
Mm-hmm. And I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Andrea. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I feel like the SNL skit where they're like acting like they're NPR people and they're just like, welcome to Bookshop Bombshells.
Welcome.
It's just like...
That's like
I can't remember anyone's names.
It's fine.
But yeah. So how's your week been going?
Chaotically good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been reading, obviously, the book for this episode, and then I've also just been like listening to so many audiobooks. So I went on that like Kim Harrison like deep dive.
Yeah, I remember.
So, like, now I've read, so we did Play Nice last week, and then I've read Black Sheep, Cackle, The Return.
How was The Return?
You know.
Wasn't your favorite?
No, which is so weird because it was more like Play Nice. So, like, she does a little bit of both, of, like, the, like, creepy DB horror and, like, cozy, comfy horror.
Yeah. Bedtime horror.
Yeah, bedtime horror. I actually, like, Cackle was the least horror one that she's written that I've read, and I honestly feel like I liked it the most. Like, it was really fun, and like kind of like I was talking about last time, it was like I just sort of felt like the character was me a little bit.
Yeah.
The Return, I felt less connected to the character. It was creepy deepy. I didn't love the ending, so
That's fine.
Sorry, we're burping. We're drinking mimosas today.
At the same time. It's fine.
It's early.
So I started the audiobook for Play Nice.
Oh, how is the audiobook?
The audiobook's really good.
Yeah.
I'm not far in. I started it, I think, the last time we talked.
Uh-huh.
And then my phone, every time I got in my car, would be like, oh, you want to listen to Spotify? And I'm like, no, I want to listen to Libby. And I got to the point where I was just like, fine, I guess I'll listen to podcasts. So I just picked it back up.
Oh, okay.
And because I was like, I'm done with podcasts.
Yeah. Yeah, screw podcasts.
It was murder podcast.
Oh, I know.
So I was
same.
like, it's getting dark and I'm just in a hole right now. So let me get out.
I don't think Play Nice is going to really help you get out of a hole.
It will, because it's fiction.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. So we talked about Under the Dome last time.
Yeah.
I found in my algorithm, I found an article that was basically like, you know, we're talking about Stephen King horror versus sci-fi. Mm-hmm. I swear, like, they're listening to us because I had an article that was like the top 10 Stephen King sci-fi series.
After we talked about that, it popped up on mine.
Really?
Yes.
So I was like, I have to read this. And so I was looking at, obviously, the list. And I think in the list I was looking at, Under the Dome was number 4. 11/22/63 was number 1, which I agree with. I can't remember what the other one was, but like 3 was The Dead Zone.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So I started listening to The Dead Zone, and I feel like I made it like 4 hours in. Like, I really gave this book a good college try. So it's also narrated by James Franco, who is sort of like a canceled actor now.
He's been canceled for a long time.
Yeah, so it wasn't like great, like listening to him talk the whole time, even though I will say it's another like piece of shit character. So you're like, oh, okay, let's have a piece of shit read a piece of shit. Like, that's cool. So I was like okay with it for a while, but you can definitely tell that like Under the Dome was written, because this book was written in 1979. And so you can tell like by the time, I think Under the Dome was like, I don't know, 2000.
Early 2000s?
Yeah, like 8 or something, maybe 8 or 9. You can tell he's like much more refined writer by then. Like, I felt like this was like sort of a precursor, like just in the way that he's writing and the way that the characters are sort of developed. It definitely feels Under the Dome-ish, but it's not as good. Right. So I gave up on it. And guess what I just started reading?
What'd you start reading?
Instead, Lost Gods.
Oh, I love that
so
book.
Good. Which is so good now.
So good.
The audiobook is a little weird.
I was going to say, I read it, so, like, what?
The narrator is fine. He's a little monotone in his actual...
delivery of it.
Yeah, but, like, But he's not monotone because when he does voices, he does great voices. It's like just when he's reading it's just when he's reading what's going on, he's like a little monotone, and then he does voices, and they're great voices. So I'm like, I don't know what you're doing here, but it's good. Like it's not
like,
turning me off.
The narrator doesn't control.
Yeah. I'll put up with a lot, as we found out with Game Changer.
That's right.
I'll put up with a lot sometimes with an audiobook if I feel like it's worth it.
Yeah, apparently I can too.
Oh, God.
Bless Kip's heart.
I know. Poor Kip.
So, what a cutie. Well, I'm glad you started. I really like Lost Gods. So
yeah, I'm super into it so far. I just got to the point where he finds out that the ghost children are his grandma's dead children.
Yeah.
Yes, like that's literally, he just found that out. So
it was like, oh no.
Yeah. They're like, mommy.
It's pretty early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I like that. I had to reread a book I've already read for
this time.
For this time.
All right, tell me about it.
So I read The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones.
We haven't done a Stephen Graham Jones yet, have we?
No.
We both really like Stephen Graham Jones.
So and that's what I was like, we haven't done one.
Yeah.
My luck.
I still haven't read this one either.
Oh, good. I was like, I know.
Which is crazy because
I've read.
Yeah.
But I was like, I knew you had read in.
Mm-hmm. I read My Heart is a Chainsaw. What else have I read? Is that the only one I read by him?
I think so.
Yeah. Because I haven't even, I started the Reaper, what is it? Don't Fear the Reaper, which is the second one of that series.
Yeah.
But I haven't finished it yet, so.
The Only Good Indians was the first book I read by him.
Mm-hmm.
I think the other one was I Was a Teenage Slasher.
That's right.
And that was really good.
Yeah.
But I wanted to reread this one because it's been a couple years, and my aunt just told me she
I know, I need to read it. There's another one, my friend Emily, who we've brought up a couple times. She read The Buffalo Hunter that she said was really good.
I almost did that one.
I've almost done that one also, but I keep being like, oh, I should like stop doing horror, and then like
you
I
fall
just
back
love
into
horror. Yeah, I just like can't stop.
I have the same. My light fluffy is always like really weird too.
Yeah,
my palette cleanser.
Yeah, my horror palette cleanser.
So The Only Good Indians, it's good. It's one of my favorites. It's the first one I've read by him. It's been my favorite. And so when you start reading it, the first sentence in the book is said, the headline for Richard Boss Ribs would be Indian man killed in bar dispute.
Mm.
So you're like, oh,
okay,
what's going on? All right, tell me more. Ricky just up and left the reservation that he lived on once his little brother Cheeto, which was not his real name, but he looked like a Cheeto.
He's like orange? Like, why does he look like
He's got red hair and freckles.
Okay.
But he OD'd in somebody's living room, and basically, like, the funeral happened, and he just split. He was like, I'm going to try to go to Minneapolis. He ends up somewhere in North Dakota. He does, like, drill work. Mm-hmm. So there's that. But he's, like, thinking about the hunt that him and his buddies Gabe, Lewis, and Cass went on last Thanksgiving, that they wanted to bring back meat to the whole tribe, but that the big wet snow had come in and everything had gone straight to hell. So then he's at a bar. He's like, 4 beers and 9 country songs later, he's got to pee. So he's waiting in this long ass line to get to the urinal. And, like, it already, like, you can already smell the bathroom. Like, it's gross. It's just, like, a roughneck bar.
Yeah.
Like, out in the middle of nowhere. And he's like, I'm just going to go outside to pee. So he, like, starts leaving, and the bouncer stops him, and he's like, hey, like fire marshal rules, like you're gonna end up having to wait in line to get back in. And he kind of looks, and there is a huge line of like cowboy roughneck types.
It's a busy bar
out there.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm like one of two Indians in here, and I'm sure they're gonna be pissed off when I leave. So he's like, it's fine, I'll take my chances. So he goes out to the parking lot, and he's taking like the best, longest pee of his life. But he feels like somebody's like watching him or like coming up behind him. He's assuming it's the line of cowboys behind him. But after he's done, he like turns around and nobody's there. And then he realizes that there's this like big elk like standing on this, like, he calls it a 280Z, which is a little sporty Nissan car. It's like trying to climb over the hood and like denting it up really bad. And then he's like, what? And it jumps over onto the next truck, which isn't as quiet about it. Like all the alarms start going off. The elk falls onto the ground and then just starts kind of like pinballing around all the vehicles, setting all the alarms off. So he's like, what is going on? This is not like, this is where people go, not elk. And the elk jumps over and like sees him and then like beelines it to him like a mad male elk would be like breathing out his nose real hard and stuff. And so it like comes straight for him and he dodges it, and then it turns around and it's gonna come back for him, and he turns around and grabs this big wrench out of the back of, I don't know if it's his truck or just a wrench that's in a truck next to him, but like gets this big ass wrench, and he's like, okay, well, like I can do this. Like if I could do my war cry, I would, but like no. Gabe's not here. He brings it out of me. So he turns around with the wrench, and the elk is gone, disappeared. But all of these guys are like heading for him.
Oh no, they think he did all the damage. They think
there was like a ruckus inside the bar, and he came out, didn't know whose car he drove. Like, you know, he's got the wrench in his hand, so he's getting blamed. So that's how he dies.
Oh, he dies?
Because that was the headline.
They beat the shit out of him.
They beat the shit out of him. He died, and they chalked it up to like a bar fight gone wrong kind of thing. Damn. And then we meet Lewis, which is one of the 4 guys that was on the big hunt. He was
that the Cheeto, or who was it?
Cheeto was the guy that was at the bar's brother.
Okay.
Like that's why he bounced town. It was after Cheeto died. He was like, I'm out.
Okay.
So then we meet Lewis. Lewis is also not living on the reservation. He's actually on a ladder in the living room of his new rent house, which his wife Peta and their dog Harley also live in the house too. But Peta is at work. She is like the person that tells the airlines where to go with the big orange air traffic control ish, like go this way.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. I don't know if that's no, air traffic control is like in the buildings, right?
I don't know. I can't remember. It's fine.
Who cares? You know, the ones
she direct the traffic.
Yeah.
Of the airlines.
She's got like bright little sticks.
Yes, that's her job. Harley's in the backyard barking. He's got Harley tied up to the like laundry post that's out there with like the rusted out line holding him because he's been it's a new house, and he's like, I'm not gonna let my dog train me. He can just bark until he gets tired of it. It's fine. But he's trying to fix this light fixture in their living room because it flickers at random times, and it's right by the right by the fireplace. He's like, Peta is like, it's supposed to illuminate the hearth because she's like a white girl and knows what everything is called.
With a name like Peta, is it P-E-T-A or P-I? Okay,
it's P-E-T-A. Which they mention the spelling in the book too.
Yeah.
Like it's not P-I-D, it's P-E-T.
Yeah.
So he's on the ladder, and he like realizes he forgot to turn the ceiling fan off. So he like jump scoots the ladder over about 10 inches. And so the the ceiling fan's at like his hip level, and he like kind of looks down, and he sees a hold on, I'm gonna turn the page. How did I word this? Oh, he sees a young cow elk, and he knows she's young. Her teeth aren't all really like grown into ivory, because like back in the ancient days, like elks had big fangs and they were ivory. So now like the elks nowadays, they just have little bitty ivory teeth, but that's how young she is. He knows this because he knows that she wouldn't mind if he like looked into her jaw and checked, because he's the one that killed this elk. So he recognizes it.
Yeah.
It was 10 years ago, him and his buddies all went on this hunt, and this is the one he recognizes. So he's kind of like taken aback. He's like, oh my gosh, I still have that elk hide in the freezer from that elk. PETA was supposed to make me gloves out of it, but the leather thing that she was doing failed, which later you learn that PETA's vegetarian, and I'm like, she's vegetarian, but she do leather goods? Hold on.
Makes sense, man. PETA.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
So the elk blinks her yellow eyes at him, and he is falling directly for the brick hearth. He's like, my head's going to hit that, and this is going to be it. Like, oh my gosh. But then at the last second, he sees PETA, like, had come home with groceries, and she, like, dropped the groceries and, like, pushed him away so he wouldn't, and he's alive. It's fine.
Okay, good.
Lewis is a postal guy, so he works for the post office.
He's a postal guy.
He's a postal guy. He's a postman, if you will.
Postman.
So he like goes to work the next day, and he's training this girl named Shani. She's the only other Indian that he works with. She calls him Blackfeet because she's a different Indian, and they were enemies back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
So she's like, hey, Blackfeet. It's kind of fun.
Are they Blackfeet Indian? Is that what they are?
That's what Lewis and his buddies are, yeah. So he realizes kind of, like, he's like, I need to call, like, Gabe and Cass to talk this over with. So he calls Cass, and he's like, hey, do you ever think about those elk? He's like, no, what has it been, 10 years now? And he was like, it's gonna be like the 10-year anniversary in 2 weeks. And he's like, yeah, da, da, da. Like, they banter a lot. It's kind of fun. But he gets off the phone, and he was like, I'm gonna call Gabe. Gabe has a daughter. So he asked her, he's like, hey, how's Denora? And he's like, she's a basketball superstar. Do you remember this guy that we played with? She's even better than him. Like, she's amazing. There's a lot of basketball in this book too, which is really like fun. I like it.
Yeah.
But then he asks him if he's been back to Duck Lake, because he still lives there. And he's like, yeah, the place is haunted. The elk don't even go there. They're afraid of the 4 butchers that took them the year that they went hunting. And then after work, all the dudes he works with are like, you keep talking about your dog Harley. It keeps jumping this big old fence, and it's a 9-year-old dog that shouldn't be able to do this. He's never done this before. Like, prove it. So, like, Shani's also like, oh, I'm coming too. And so they all go over to Lewis's house, and they like make it to the backyard, and they realize that he's not connected to the fence post anymore. He's tried to jump the fence, but the rope.
My eyes are welling
up. It's real sad what they find. I'm sure you could imagine. But Harley's not dead. They think he's dead, and then he like kicks a little, and they rescue him off of the fence.
Oh, okay. Good.
So they're like babying Harley. And Lewis is like, what's making him jump? Is it something that like is spooking him from in the house, or is he trying to get something after, like, because they live right by train tracks, and he knows that the train doesn't really set the dog off, but like, what if something else is out there after the whole elk experience in his living room? He's gotten a little obsessed. He like PETA finds him with like black duct tape in the living room, like trying to like do the outline of where he saw the elk through the fan. And so they're just like, he's just trying to figure out why this elk is back, because he knows exactly which one it is. And he's like, what do they want? And then he starts thinking that maybe it's PETA, because she met him right before he left the reservation. And he gets really paranoid and kind of delusional. And at one point, like in the book, I will warn you, the dog does not make it.
Okay. Trigger warning, everybody.
Yes. I should have done this at the beginning.
I know.
There is animals die and people die in this book, in kind of pretty morbid ways, so be warned.
Yeah. It is horror.
It is horror. So he's like, is this PETA or is this like fake PETA? Like, is she really the elk? At one point, like she's like
a white lady, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the next time he sees the elk, it's like a woman's body with that elk head on it.
Oh.
And it keeps like glaring at him with those yellow eyes that aren't supposed to be yellow. Like he ends up telling the story about the hunt at one point. He starts telling the story to Shani because she shows up at his house asking for books, because he reads like this really fun sci-fi books, and I'm like, I wish I knew what those books were based off of. So
yeah,
because they do sound like really fun stories. So Stephen Graham Jones, if you're listening, what books they based off of, because I want to read them. So you like PETA comes home when they're talking, and he's like telling her the story, and PETA's upset, and he didn't tell PETA the whole story because she's like real heartfelt about animals, like vegetarian,
and her name's PETA.
So then like she's upset that he told the coworker, and she was like, well, are you gonna tell me like this, like it, like who's your wife, me or Shani?
Who's this girl?
So he tells her the rest of the story, and then he starts thinking that maybe the elk woman is Shani, and things happen, and he's not in a good way. And I'm gonna stop there because I'm gonna give too much away if I keep going.
Because I'm gonna read this book.
I like, if you can get over like the sad parts of mostly just what happens to animals in that book, like it's so good. There's a lot of basketball mentioned in it, which is, I think, actually why a lot of people don't like this book.
I wonder, because of basketball?
Mm-hmm. Because it's like references basketball from the very beginning. It's like they all play basketball. So and so plays basketball. Like, and they're just, it's like if you like, I think it fits in really well, and it has it all tie up at the end anyway. But like some people are just like, oh, there's so much. No, like it's cool. I love basketball.
There's
like,
so much basketball.
Why?
We're from Oklahoma, so like the Thunder, like all we have is basketball sometimes. I mean, you might say we also have like OU football, but who cares about football?
I mean, like, I don't even follow our basketball team, but like I played basketball growing up, and it's still something I enjoy watching. Yeah. Like I go to at least one OU women's basketball game.
Oh yeah, we have a good women's team.
They're really good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's
okay,
so
cool.
That is The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones.
Stephen Graham Jones. He's so good.
He's a really good author.
Yeah. Yeah, I did really like My Heart is a Chainsaw. And the only reason I haven't read Don't Fear the Reaper is because, like, of this podcast. Like, I literally can't. I don't have time. I actually did try to start the audiobook of it, and I don't like the audiobook because I read the first book. And so it's very much like people's... And it does the thing where it's, like, different voices, like, for different...
Yeah.
Things, and so it's like I'm like, these voices aren't the voices I had in my head, but I loved My Heart is a Chainsaw. It got me to watch so many slasher movies.
Yeah, that's kind of that's not what got me into like those old slasher movies, but like after I read I Was a Teenage Slasher, like I wanted to rewatch a
We went on like a binge,
yeah,
because I hadn't seen like any of the Friday the 13th. I at least knew like a lot of the references and stuff, but I hadn't actually watched any of them. So we literally didn't watch all of them. I think we watched the first 3 because they go a little off the rails.
We watched all of them one year.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, until my 30s was...
Yeah.
couldn't watch fun movies, apparently. So, like, John was like, what? You've never seen this? So, like, one Halloween a couple years ago, we, like, tried to watch everything we could. But, you know, he's a start to finish guy. So we watched all
you
the
have
Halloween,
to watch them
or not Halloween. We watched, like, all of them.
Friday the 13th. Yeah. Yeah, they're good.
But I love them.
Yeah, really good. So I love Stephen Graham Jones. He's great.
What'd you read this week?
Oh, man. So I picked up a new book. Well, it's not new, but new for me by an author that I love.
Ooh.
I did The Searcher by Tana French. So Tana French does mystery. She's one of my favorite mystery authors. She has a series. It starts with In the Woods. But I won't say In the Woods is my favorite. In the Woods is a good solid mystery, but like honestly, she has another book called there's God, I can't remember books right now.
The pressure of
I know.
To know
well, I'm
them.
remembering like actually I think she has a list back here. There's The Likeness. Okay, so The Likeness is my favorite. It's like number 2. So basically what she does is she's an Irish mystery writer. And it's mostly like what they call the Dublin Murder Squad. And so like if they're like in a series, it's usually following detectives that either were in one, like it may follow like the same detective, or it may be like one detective's a star or the main character in one book, and then they're like a side character in the other book, and it kind of follows a different detective.
It changes up.
Yeah, so there's like The Likeness was like my favorite. I've read that one a couple times. And then I also really liked Broken Harbor was another one of my favorites. So this one is a part of a different series, new. It's not Dublin Murder Squad. But my mom had recommended it because her 3rd book in this series had just come out. And she was saying it was really good. And I was like, okay, well, I need to start with the first one in the series. So that's The Searcher. So still an Ireland book. So that's like
cool.
Really fun. The main character is Cal Hooper. So this is a little different for her because he is a retired Chicago PD detective. So he has moved, like he's basically retired. Yeah, he's like, left the force. He's still young. Like he's probably like in his early 50s. Decides to move to Ireland, a small town. I think that it was a fictional city called Ardnakelty, which I looked up. It is fictional. It's not real, but it's actually by Sligo.
Oh, okay.
Which we've been there.
Sligo.
Yeah, we got chased by the Garda.
We didn't know.
we were trespassing. We did not know. So it's like kind of by there. Western Ireland is what they say. So he's moved out there. He buys this like really rundown house on some land. And just basically decides to like spend his retirement fixing up this house. Like he's trying to get away from the big city.
Okay.
He had a wife. She had left him a little prior to him quitting the force. And he has like an adult daughter who's like, I think she's like recently out of college. So he's sort of just like on his own.
Doing his own thing.
He's a little bit of a troubled past, trying to get away from it. So he's like got this house he's fixing up. He starts to realize that, he's out in the middle of nowhere, basically. He has neighbors, but they're pretty far away. And he starts getting this like feeling that he's being watched. Like he has the like prickles in the back of his neck.
Ooh, yeah.
And he even says like, I was like trained in the force for 25 years. So like he's really knows what those prickles mean.
He's in tune to it, yeah.
And so he ends up deciding to he like buys like a bunch of dirt and puts like dirt outside his windows, and then in the next morning there's like footprints like on the dirt. So like someone is definitely
Spooky.
Yeah, someone's definitely watching him. He does say that they're like kind of like mashed together, and he can't like tell the size or like the tread or anything, but he definitely confirms that someone is spying on him. So he ends up actually one night catching whoever was spying on him. He like sees them out and tries to like get a hand on them. It's like dark or whatever because they're in the middle of nowhere. And they end up biting him and running off. But he does realize that it's like a kid, like not an adult.
It's just a kid?
It's a kid spying on him.
Weird.
So Cal's just like going about his business, keeping on repairing his house. He's got this neighbor named Mart who's pretty fun. He gives him like a bunch of unsolicited advice about like hormone-free diets. Like he's basically, since he's like fixing up the house so well, he's like losing a bunch of weight, and he's like telling him it's like because like all the hormone, like all the meat here is better and
the
food's better. Yeah. So like you don't have all that like antibiotics and stuff in your food. And so he's just, continuing to fix up the house. He's got like this old desk that I guess came with the house. I don't really understand why. It's sort of like he's just like this guy that likes to do things the hard way,
really work for
Yeah. And that is one thing I want to say about like Tana French is that it's a lot less about the mystery for her and more about like one thing I really like about her is it's like about the characters.
She's developing.
Yeah, she does a really good character development. She's one of the first authors that I was reading that I sort of realized that I like character development's my favorite part about a book. It's like the plot is important, but it's like kind of secondary to like caring about the characters and liking the characters and really making them like real people in my mind. And so he's like fixing up this desk. It's like broken. It's gross. It's been in this like moldy house for a while. And he eventually like catches this kid that's like kind of like just like watching him from behind like a bush or whatever outside of his house. And he's like, hey kid, like I see you there. Like, why don't you like put yourself to some good use and like you can like like sand it. Like I think it was like it was like one of the drawers in the desk. He's like, why don't you just sand this drawer down so it'll fit into the desk. And the kid is like realizes that he's been like seen and he's like, okay, fine. Like so he just like comes out. Like kid like doesn't talk. He just starts standing in the desk, and that's like how their relationship like starts. It's just the kid shows up, helps him fix up this desk. He's sort of like teaching the kid
useful skills,
like how to fix desks. And that's just, they really barely talk at all. The kid's like skinny, looks very poor, so like doesn't really have, like Cal sort of like sees this as like taking this kid in under his wing sort of thing. He feeds him sometimes like sandwiches and stuff, so it's like, well, at least he's getting a meal. He's also coming around at times of the day that he should be in school.
Ooh.
So he's realizing that he's skipping school, not going to school, that sort of thing. So there's this pub called Shawnogs, which is where all the old cats go to drink their beers. And it's actually really cool because Cal drinks Smittix. So we went to McNally's yesterday, and I brought the book to read. And I was like ordering Smittix, so it was really
because it was in
yeah. I was like, I gotta drink some Smittix. I haven't had Smittix in a while. So he goes to Shawnogs, orders a Smittix. There's a bunch of local farmers. They're arguing about a sheep that was killed. It was like literally just like one sheep, throat torn out. It was like mutilated in a way that they're like basically saying it wasn't an animal.
A person had to have done this.
Or honestly, they thought it was aliens.
Or aliens. Also a good
Which they're like,
fall back.
Why would aliens just mutilate a sheep? Like, this doesn't make any
just
sense.
Fun.
But they're just like a bunch of old cats that are just, a bunch of sheep farmers.
That's fun.
They're just, they've got the one crazy one that is sure it's aliens.
I would have a Smittix with them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty cool cats. They like do the whole, like, they sing, like, for entertainment. Like, it's just like everyone's singing, everyone's great. There is an incident where there's like this local boy named Donnie McGrath. They're playing some like card game that I don't remember what it was called, but it's like some big card game, money exchanges, hands. And apparently this Donnie McGrath has been cheating. His neighbor Mart is there accusing him of cheating. The kid ends up getting thrown out. He's like kind of like threatening and cussing at Mart, and Cal, who's like cop, is like clocking all this, and he's like doesn't really
note.
Yeah, he like doesn't. He's like kind of worried because Mart's like an old dude. He's like kind of like worried that Donnie's gonna come after him. Like he knows where you live, and Mart's just like, oh yeah, who cares about that kid? Like everyone knows each other. Everyone's grown up with each other their entire lives, so like
it's not a big thing.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not worried about that kid. But Cal of course is, because he just like can't turn the cop off. Trey returns again to help with the desk, and kind of lets it known to Cal that he knows that he was a detective. So Cal is like trying to keep a low profile in this town because he knows it's a small town and people talk. So he's not really like, just like letting everyone know he's a detective. So he's kind of just like, how did this kid find out? But the kid reveals to him that, his 19-year-old brother, Brendan, has gone missing.
That's why he's been stalking him.
Yeah. And he wants Cal to help find Brendan. So there's like a theme in this book about... So basically, I'm trying to like say this in a good way because it is a big theme of the book. But mostly like a lot of young men. So it's like a small town. The community is kind of dying.
Got it. It's slowly becoming a ghost town kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's like the whole thing is like, I don't remember what the reasoning was of why the women are okay. But it was like the young men like just basically don't see a future for themselves a lot of the time. So like if they can't get out, so a lot of people just leave.
Right.
But if they can't get out, like they can't afford to get out or whatever, like a lot of them are like killing themselves.
I wonder if Oklahoma's small towns that were like once big boom.
It could, yeah.
Places.
Like, and it's very much like, it's just like they don't see a future. They don't want to maybe do what their parents did. I don't really.
There's no other option.
Yeah, so like so it is kind of like this like epidemic of like young kids being found like hanging and stuff. And so there is like. Or just like leaving, like they just are like trying to get out. They're trying to leave. So basically, Cal is like, I mean, your brother probably just left. And Cal has heard about this kid. So this kid's name is Trey, Trey Reddy, and the Reddy family is sort of the like black sheep family of the town. The dad is this like too good for everybody. Always thought he was the smartest one, trying to make, it kind of sounded like,
keeping up with the,
trying to get money out of people. Like he was just always like scheming, that sort of thing. Ew. He ends up like having a bunch of kids and then like running out on the wife. And so she's just left with like, I think she has like 5 kids or something. Yeah. They're like, he's like 1 of 5. Because of the dad, no one likes this family in town. And so the kid knows that like no one cares that his brother's missing. And he also knows his brother like is a good kid and like wouldn't run out like his dad did. And so he's like, my brother didn't leave. He wouldn't have left without telling me. Like he thinks someone kidnapped him.
Like they were close enough.
Yeah. Like he's like, he wouldn't have left without telling me. Like there's no way. So like, I need you to find him. And so one thing that Cal used to do when he was a cop was he he would just like, I think it was kind of like you're trying to find, I don't know. It was like you're trying to find suspects. Like you're trying to track them down. It wasn't like he was like a missing persons type person, but he was like
profiler.
Yeah, like he's trying to track, like, oh, some guy escaped out of prison. Like Cal goes and helps try to find where he is. Yeah. So you go interview all their associates. You go try to find, where they would go if they had anywhere to go.
He's an investigator.
Yeah, he was an investigator. He was more than just a beat cop.
Right.
And so basically, he's trying to like convince, and he knows enough to be like, the likelihood of this kid getting kidnapped versus like him either like offing himself or leaving. He's like, your brother probably left, and the kid's just like, the kid is very temperamental and gets like really upset at this because he's like, I think had been like putting all of his like eggs in this, like, this guy's gonna help me. Like,
oh yeah, he was convinced.
Yeah, so he like destroys the desk. He like gets all pissed off, like destroys the desk they've been working on, and like runs out. He even like comes back and is like egging his house.
Oh no!
And he's just like, by that time, Cal actually had kind of decided that he was maybe possibly going to look into it. He did do like a little bit of asking around, because he's been like, so you have to have like a firearm license in Ireland, and it like takes a long time. Yeah. And so he'd been trying to get a firearm for mostly hunting, and so he like goes to talk to the cops in town to ask about his license because it had been a couple months, and he was just like,
curious. And
he asks about the kid that was missing, and they're basically giving him the runaround that this kid's a piece of trash and we don't care, and he probably just left, and just like his daddy, and blah 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 blah. So he is sort of getting the like, okay, so if something did happen to this kid, no one would care. So right. Like
nobody's gonna look into this.
Something could have happened to him, and then no one cared. So he is sort of like warming up to the idea of maybe I could start looking into it. So yeah, I'm gonna stop there.
That's fair.
Yeah, so he basically starts doing his, investigation into what happened to Brendan Reddy. And I will say, great characters are great. I love Trey. There's a fun twist, and the end is good. It made me cry.
Oh no.
Yeah. So good book. I'm gonna read the next one somehow.
I'll have to figure out a book.
She's great. She's like, she's not trashy murder. She's like solid, legitimate, good story, good writing, murder mysteries.
Because there are a lot out there that are
Yeah. Like definitely, like if you want something that's good and not something that's just like
mass written.
Yeah, just like so many, like they just write one a year or whatever. Like she does, like when her books come out, there's a couple that I haven't read because they're like outside of the series of hers. But like when any of her, like I think even HBO did like a Dublin Murder Squad series that I think I got canceled. I did start watching it, but it seemed like they were just kind of trying to smash all of them into one.
Oh.
So it was a little like, because it was very much the likeness and in the woods together, and it was kind of bugging me a little bit, so I didn't actually finish it. And then of course they canceled it. So but she's great, especially if you love a good cozy Ireland.
So that's
murder.
Funny that you read, and I literally this morning told my husband, I was like, I haven't been listening to my audiobook because like my car fought with me about it, so I've been listening to podcasts, and all of the commercials are like the big like chain grocery store in Ireland is like, if you buy this, then you can get 3
like
bags
Tesco?
of hunky dories.
Oh, hunky dories!
And I was like,
potatoes.
No, those are my favorite potatoes. They're so good. But so like then I get all commercials for Ireland. I'm like, like, why are you doing this to me? And then you come in today with an Ireland book, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's great. It's very like, there's certain things that she's like, she paints a really pretty Ireland picture too. Like you just want to go there and and live there. And I mean, maybe not a rural small town, because it sounds like things are a little shadier than they seem. But yeah, it's a good book.
Sounds like a good book.
I'm gonna read the next one.
Good.
So this week we did.
I did The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones.
And I did The Searcher by Tana French.
Very good. Mm-hmm. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. We will see you in 2 weeks.
We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.